Ammo is crazy expensive and hard to find, and dry fire is life. I use the Mantis X10 to keep my handgun skills strong, and it makes dry practice fun and challenging. Check it out at the link below.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mantis Dry Fire Mondays, and I'm Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant. You're an active self-protection extra, and we're glad to have you. And we're going to talk about something that may be controversial to some of you, and it really shouldn't be. Remember, whenever we learn something, we have to evaluate how it works for us, how much time it costs, and how out of position we are when we do things. What I wanted to talk to you today is about the proper way to rack the slide. I teach 4 ways in class, and I allow the students to make a decision which one's best for them. When I first started in pistol training, Glock was dominating the scene, and it was what was considered the universal method of always racking overhand. But it doesn't work with all pistols, Beretta being a glaring example where it wouldn't work as well with a Beretta, so it's not a universal method. It's universal for Glock. So what is the best way for us to rack the slide, whether it's during a malfunction or we're reloading the gun? There's several ways to do this. So let's get our gun out here. Of course, we're going to lock the slide back. We don't have a magazine in it because we're talking about how to manipulate that. We're in a good position to do so. So with this gun, if I needed to release the slide or rack the slide, simply bringing my hand over the top like this and grabbing it is very effective. And then I push with my right hand and I pull with my left hand and let it go, and that runs the slide. Now, in this position, it takes a long time for my hand to come back to the other hand. So that's the cost. I get a really good grip here and I get a good motion, but my hand is much further away from my gripping position. So I found it's costing me about a half a second to do that. Okay? The other way that I can do it is the slingshot method. Simply rotate the gun inward, pinch like you're shooting your slingshot, and then push and pull. And then my hand's right there to build a grip again. So pushing and pulling here, letting go, and building a grip. So that's a little quicker, and it works pretty well for some people. And then a lot of us like to use the forward pinch method. The caveat is you have to have a longer barrel with this. You can't do this with short guns. If you're carrying a very short gun like a Shield or a 365, there's not enough real estate up there. Mine has serrations right here. And what happens is I'm not grabbing with the fingers, but I'm pinching with the thenar. And then I pinch, and as I pinch, I push forward on the gun, let it go, and then my hand's right there to build a grip. So those are the 3 ways that I can do it. There's also a 4th way on an emergency slide lock reload. I can load the magazine and simply rotate my thumb in and push the slide release lever and drive it forward. So that's another way for me to do that. Here's the thing. They all cost a certain amount of time. This may be the most robust. Just make sure if you're running an optic like I am, you don't grab here, because then you'll be covering the area where spent brass needs to come out of. So you simply grab over the top of the optic and run it. That is a very strong grip for most people, and it runs the gun very well. But I do see a lot of malfunctions because people tend to release it slowly on the way back, and that will cause a malfunction also. So make sure you're releasing it, and then realize it's going to take you a little longer to build the grip. If you don't have a lot of time to practice, that's the way to go, because it's there and it's simple, and it does malfunctions, reloads, and emergency slide lock reloads all the same way. If you find that maybe in closer, or you're running a different style that has a decocker or something on the slide mounted, you're going to pinch right here and push and pull, and then the hand's going to be right there, so it's a little quicker. But you've got to have good strength in the hand here, and you've got to drive this hand forward while you do it so you can grip the gun. And then if you like to do the forward pinch method, you need to make sure you don't go in front of the muzzle, and then press and pull and let go and build the grip as you go out. This is a more fluid motion for putting it all together. And then if you're loading the gun, as you load, simply press and let the slide release go. So they're all good. The only thing I don't support or recommend is the forward assist method. So if you're running a Palmer gun and you take your magazine as hard as you can and run it in there, it'll automatically run the slide forward. That was a side effect of you running the magazine hard. The gun's not supposed to work that way, and it'll work most of the time. But I see people under a great deal of pressure, and it doesn't work for them under a great deal of pressure. Sometimes the slide goes forward before the magazine's fully seated. So I would hesitate to recommend that one. You need to practice it, and it's your choice at the end of the day, but that may not be the best way for you to go, because you're really inserting a magazine extra hard to get the gun to do something it's not supposed to, where all the other ones are pretty natural methods. Don't get caught up in it. Pick one. Realize if you have a lot of practice time, you can experiment, and get better at other things, and you might find one works better for the other one. Don't just throw it away because you don't like it. Practice it, see which one works, and then put it on the clock. You need to measure it, refine it, and perform it over and over, and you'll see a very big difference in the speed and your ability to do that. So something for you guys to work on. I hope that helps you a lot. Remember, this is a process movement. You really want to build the grip as it comes back. Get that hand position really strong, because there's no reason to miss that shot after a reload. You should be just as a good shooter when you draw the weapon or when you reload as you are during shooting it. Get out of the idea that your most missed shots will be your first from the draw and first on the reload. You simply can't afford that as the armed citizen. Now, we know that reloads don't happen very often for us. This may not happen, but we may have to clear a malfunction, and we like to shoot. So be good at shooting and work on these particular drills. I hope that helps you guys and makes it a little bit stronger. Thank you so much. I'm Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant. Active self-protection, extra, hit the button, hit a like, leave a comment for us. That really helps us out. And work on your Mantis. Your Mantis is a great way to time this. You can really work on it and see if it makes a big difference for you. All right, guys, I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for your hard work.